Hello and welcome to the show. I am Joe Topat. Oswald probably has the most unique history with the Disney company. For those of you who don't know, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was Walt Disney's first successful cartoon star, predating Mickey by roughly a year. Unfortunately, Walt didn't think to copyright the character, so when negotiations with distributor Charles Mintz fell through, Mintz took Oswald away from Walt, along with most of his staff. Mickey was created to fill the void left by Oswald. Learning from his mistake, Walt copyrighted Mickey. Needless to say, Mickey would go on to become a pop culture icon, while Oswald didn't. In 2006, Disney CEO Bob Iger regained the rights to Oswald from Universal in exchange for Al Michaels. Iger would say of the deal, as a forerunner to Mickey Mouse and an important part of Walt Disney's creative legacy, the fun and mischievous Oswald is back where he belongs. Oswald returning to Disney was a big deal to fans. It was the prodigal son returning home. Now that Disney has Oswald back, what will they do with him? Surprisingly, not much. So far, Disney has only used him in the Epic Mickey games, a cameo here and there, an online Christmas short done by Disney Japan, some merchandise, and has made appearances at the theme parks. There are rumors that Disney is working on an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit series for Disney+. While I couldn't find any definite info, I hope the rumors are true. Oswald deserves to star in some cartoons, rather than just making cameos. Why hasn't Disney done more with Oswald since bringing him back to the company? I thought about this a lot, and I came up with two reasons. The first reason is because of the failure of a potential game franchise co-starring him. His big comeback was in the Wii game Epic Mickey. It is about Mickey accidentally creating a monster called the Shadow Blot. This monster wreaks havoc on the world of forgotten tunes called the Wasteland. Now Mickey has to team up with Oswald to fix the world. The game had its problems, but it was a great way to bring Oswald and Mickey together for the first time. My biggest complaint is that they didn't have the characters talk. They hired voice actors like Frank Welker, and all they had the characters do is go, Why have the voice actors there in the first place? Regardless, the game was popular enough to have a sequel, Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. Junction Point Studios, the game's developers, went all out with it. Epic Mickey 2 was a two-player game instead of a single player like the first one. It was also released on multiple consoles rather than just the Wii. There was even a companion game called Epic Mickey, The Power of Illusion, released on the 3DS, though it was made by a different company. While the sequel fixed a lot of Epic Mickey's problems, it was still a huge failure, causing Disney to close down Junction Point Studios, thus ending any future sequels. Which is a real shame, because the game ended on a cliffhanger. After the failure of Epic Mickey 2, Disney seemed to prefer to feature Oswald in cameos. His most famous one being in 2013's Get a Horse, starring Mickey Mouse. His cameo is so brief that most people missed it the first time they saw it. Animation historian Jerry Beck had to point it out on his Facebook page before it became common knowledge. One noteworthy cameo Oswald made was in the Mickey Mouse episode Canned. In it, Mickey is digging through some trash, where he finds Oswald, only to toss him in the trash can, which is what Disney has done with the character. Disney was probably hoping that Epic Mickey would end up being a popular game franchise, like Kingdom Hearts. Since it didn't turn out that way, they don't see the need to use Oswald in another big project. Why does this failure matter? This brings me to my second reason. Oswald doesn't have an impressive legacy. Don't get me wrong. He played an important role in the creation of Mickey, and he helped lay the foundation for Walt Disney to create his empire. The problem is, he's more interesting as a piece of Disney trivia than he is as a character. If you were to ask someone to describe Mickey, Donald, or Goofy's personality, they could tell you without any problem. If you were to ask the same person to do the same for Oswald, unless they played Epic Mickey, they most likely couldn't. If that person even knows who Oswald is, it's most likely through his history and not from his cartoons. There's a good reason for that. Unlike Mickey, Oswald never got the chance to evolve under Walt Disney. Most of his cartoons were made at Universal Studio, and none of them have gone on to become beloved classics. When I made my video counting down Mickey's 10 best cartoons, I had a lot to choose from. I could never make one for Oswald because, honestly, most of his cartoons aren't that great. They definitely didn't put a lot of care when developing his appearance. He doesn't even look like the same character in his later cartoons. Mickey, on the other hand, is recognizable no matter how many makeovers he's given. It just goes to show you that Universal didn't take care of Oswald the way Disney took care of Mickey. Walt Disney once famously said, "I only hope that we don't lose sight of one thing, that it all started with a mouse." Some like to say that it really all started with a rabbit. It is true that Oswald came first, but what Walt Disney said is accurate. The movies, the TV shows, and the theme parks were all the result of Mickey's success. That's why he's the face of Disney. Oswald, on the other hand, was taken from Walt after a year and fell into obscurity. The only reason why he's remembered was because of his connection to Disney's early years. Could he have been as popular as Mickey if he was never taken away from Walt? Who knows? What could have been isn't important. What happened is. There is no indication that Walt ever tried to get Oswald back. Many of Oswald's cartoons at Universal were produced by Walter Lantz, creator of Woody Woodpecker, and a friend of Walt Disney. Disney actually gave Lantz his blessing to make the Oswald cartoons, showing he had no hard feelings over losing the character. According to the book, Walt Before Mickey, Walt in his later years once jokingly said about Oswald, "I never liked that damn rabbit anyway." His company today seems to actually hate poor Oswald. Over the years, Disney has bought popular franchises like The Muppets, Star Wars, Marvel, and even The Simpsons. Because of their impressive legacies, Disney is putting more focus on them, rather than trying to work on the character the company's founder created in 1927. Despite all this, I do think there's hope for Oswald. Even though its franchise never took off, Epic Mickey is still a popular game amongst fans. It helped introduce the character to a whole new generation. One of the creators of Kingdom Hearts once called the Lucky Rabbit one of his favorite Disney characters. He even wanted to include him in Kingdom Hearts 3. Disney wouldn't allow it, because Oswald would be too difficult to use. How would he be difficult to use? Anyway, if this and the rumor of a Disney Plus show is any indication, the creative staff want to do something with Oswald. even if the higher-ups don't. Maybe someday they'll finally get their way. If you don't think so, remember this. At one point, nobody thought Oswald would return to Disney, and then in 2006, he did. This shows that he really is a lucky rabbit. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.